has $1 million payday written in the stars. Tonight on the World Poker Tour.
The World Poker Tour is a series of 17 international poker tournaments featuring the biggest games,
That's going to do it for the Masters.
the greatest players, and the largest payouts on the planet. In Northern California, 6 players, $4.7 million. It's a shot at poker stardom tonight on the World Poker Tour.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the World Poker Tour. I'm Mike Sexton along with Vince Van Patten, and we are in majestic Northern California in San Jose for the Bay 101 Shooting Star Tournament.
And Mike, this is always a fun one. I mean, this is the tournament where the poker superstars put a bullseye on their backs, and if another player knocks them out, they not only get $5,000 cash, but they also have a great story that they can bring back to their home game, and tell for the rest of their lives. This is good.
Well, knocking out a star is fun, Vince, but making it to the final table is where it's at. And nobody has a better story than last year's Cinderella champion, Danny Wynn. He knocked out 2 shooting stars on the final table on the way to his $1 million payday.
That is true, Mike. And you know what? Millions is what the World Poker Tour is really all about. This season, we had 518 players come up to San Jose, California, with stars in their eyes, $10,000 cash in their hands to take a shot at the big boys and try to take home that $1.1 million first prize.
Well, 6 players remain, including 1 shooting star. Let's meet them.
In 6th chip position tonight on the short stack out of Los Angeles, California is Chad Brown. Now, he makes his living as a poker commentator. Now, what idiot would want that job, Mike? Okay, moving over to 5th chip position. We've seen him before on the WPT. He's one of the superstar young guns out of Las Vegas. It's 25-year-old phenomenon, David Williams.
Starting out in 4th chip position tonight with 703,000 in chips, Fabrice Soulier from Paris, France. Fabrice used to be a TV director, and Vince, his script tonight is going to be for yet another European player to capture a WPT title. In 3rd chip position is 22-year-old Danny Smith out of Folsom, California. Danny's been a poker pro for 2 years, but he's been playing cards with his family his entire life. Sounds like your house, Vince.
Very true. Okay, moving over to 2nd chip position tonight, a local from San Jose, Ravi Udikumar. Now, Ravi is a manufacturing engineer, got in this tournament through his satellite. Who knows, the dream very much alive.
And our chip leader with 1.3 million in chips, Nam Lee from Huntington Beach, California. Nam's 25 years old, making his 2nd WPT final table appearance tonight. He was taught how to play poker by 2-time WPT champion Tuan Lee. But Vince, tonight, Nam was looking to put his own WPT trophy on the mantle.
Ante, shuffle up and deal.
It is a great concept to have bounties, just extra incentive to play this tournament, like people really needed it. And it is fun. Antes will be $1,000, $5,000 and $10,000 blinds, when he's going to take home close to $1.2 million. Let's go right down to the table on Danny Smith.
22-year-old looks down and finds a pair of snowmen, 2 8s.
Right off the bat, and he's going to raise it, making it $40,000 to go. David Williams quickly folding. Chad Brown, they call him Downtown Chad Brown from Los Angeles. He's got king, queen of diamonds.
And he likes to play, Vince.
Capping his cards here. Pretty strong hand. Well, he's called it. Ravi out. They're playing fast. Fabrice out.
Round to Nam Lee in the big blind. He also folds.
So 2-way action. Got a pair of 8s versus king, queen on the very first pot.
And the flop comes ace 9-5.
40.
And Danny's going to bet with just the 8s even after that flop.
40,000. Now this is a small bet into a pot that has a little over 100,000 in it. And you can just feel that Chad senses that, Vince.
Maybe he's thinking this guy just has a smaller pair. Wouldn't he have bet a little bit bigger to protect his aces?
That's exactly what he's thinking, Vince.
Yep.
That's why he's making the call here. Because of that small bet, he just doesn't believe he's got an ace in his hand.
A 10 on the turn.
Now this gives Chad a gut shot straight draw, but still, he just has the king high. Action's back on Danny.
And he's slowing down. He's just checked it.
Well, is this the green light that Chad is looking for? He is going to bet.
Chad makes it 80,000.
Nice bet.
I'm telling you, this is playing the game here. You're not playing your cards. You're playing this hand because you don't think your opponent has an ace in his hand. And if you bet, you think you can pick up this pot. And indeed it is. Chad Brown taking it down.
That's a great play. I think on that bet after the flop, it just wasn't enough stick to it. If he had an ace, he'd have tried to protect it a little bit more. It was just a feeler bet, and Chad Brown, great perception, picks up on that and takes down the pot after.
As long as you say it.
Let's just talk a little bit about the bounties.
Yeah, there was 50 superstar players, named players, and they've all been knocked out but one. It is David Williams.
Vince, I used to be a bounty here in the old days myself. And believe me, when someone knocks you out, they stop the tournament, they come over, they give the guy the cash right on the spot, they give him a t-shirt that says, I knocked out so-and-so. Quite a show they have up here.
Our bounty, David, quickly folding and back on Chad Brown, who's getting spunky here. He's got 9-8 of spades.
That makes it 30,000 to go with a suited connector. And Ravi calls him with the Jack-8 of clubs.
Speculation here. Now Fabrice with the button. He's got a big hand. Ace-Queen.
I raise it.
And he's going to raise it.
Well, I've seen these guys limp in here. Figures ace-queen is the best hand. Pops it up to 120,000. But right behind him, Nam Lee has picked up 2 kings in the small blind.
Just a gigantic hand. Look at the seriousness of Nam Lee.
Well, this guy is a focused, intense player. And what I love about him, Vince, is notice he's looked back at Chad Brown, trying to survey the situation to see if anybody's got 2 aces in his mind. That's the only hand that can beat him right now. The only other time he made a WPT final table, he finished in 6th place. He's looking to redeem that tonight.
A razor and a razor. You got kings. Now, do you slow play at this point, or do you just take the pot now with a raise?
I raise.
Oh, and he says he's going to raise it.
Well, that wiped the smile off most everybody's face. He is raising it right here. See how much he's going to bet. 270,000 to go here.
Danny flies away. Back on poor Chad.
When Mike and Vince look at this, they'll say, Chad, you would have won the tournament with this hand.
Yeah. Goes out.
I don't think so, Chad, but you never know. Well, Ravi folds his hand, but Fabrice has a little more of a problem. He's got ace-queen here.
I don't need to look at the camera. I know he's got kings, so...
Oh, nice call by Fabrice.
He's a better commentator than Chad Brown.
I need to lay my... down.
And us. He can pick off a hand that quick. Called his cards exactly.
Yeah.
Now, if you're sitting there in Nam Lee's seat and the guy's calling your hand and then mucks his cards, you're thinking, whoo, hey, this is going to be a tough table here.
I think he had aces.
Kings.
Well, I'll tell you something. A lot of people think Tuan Lee and Nam Lee are related. No, they do not share DNA together. Just the last name.
Tuan's taught him a lot about poker, he said, though. He's his mentor, and he wants to get a title. Tuan Lee's got 3.
Let's go back down the table. It's going to be on downtown Chad Brown. 10 deuce, throws it away.
Over to Ravi. Ravi has the 9-3 of clubs, lays it down.
And now Fabrice, our Frenchman, and he has got the atom bombs, pair of aces.
He's not gonna...
Don't do it. Do it.
And he's going to raise it, makes it 32,000 to go.
If he raise me again, I quit.
Into Nam Lee. He's got a little suited connector, 6-5 of hearts.
And he's also got position.
Sometimes tempting to play.
He's also got the chip lead. Remember, in the very last pot, Fabrice raised it. Nam Lee came over the top of him. Right now, the Frenchman is wishing that same scenario would take place.
I quit, man.
Well, Nam Lee is going to make the call here.
Yes, he is.
He's in position, got the chip lead.
Danny out. David Williams with Queen 7. Can't stick around. So we have the two-way action. We got the atom bombs, pair of aces versus 6-5, the suited connector.
And here comes a flop. Well, the flop is King 7-4 of clubs. Now Fabrice looking back. Yes, Fabrice, you do have the ace of clubs, along with the 2 aces.
And there he's going to bet $35,000. A little tickler there. Nam Lee with an open-ended straight draw.
And Nam calls him with the open-end straight draw.
He is going to get invested here. Hoping to pick off the Frenchman.
Well, the ace of spade comes on the turn. This gives Fabrice 3 aces to go along with his nut flush draw.
Just a beautiful card there.
Now Fabrice now trying to figure out how much can he bet to get more chips out of Nam Lee in this pot. Well, he's going to bet 50,000. Remember, there's over 150,000 in the pot. Not a big bet there.
Well, that's a great hand he has. You don't want to blow your guy out. Now look at Nam Lee. Do you want to draw to a possible dead hand?
The only way he's drawing dead is if Fabrice has a flush at this moment.
That is the question. Now, pros sometimes do this because they're so talented. They can get away from hands so they can do this. But don't do this at home, folks.
The point being, if you make your straight and your opponent already has a flush, you're just going to lose all your chips.
Fabrice trying to entice a call here.
Call.
Well, Nam is going to make the call, so he's called 50 more thousand.
Oh, yes, heavily invested now. We're going to go down to the river.
Nam Lee looking for the 3 or the 8. That would give him a straight here, but the 5 of diamonds comes up. And once again, Fabrice is trying to figure out how much can he bet to get this guy to pay me off.
Not a very good card for Nam Lee.
And he's got a pair of 5s. And another massage bet, 50,000.
Oh, beg me kind of bet.
Well, there's over 250,000 in the pot, but Nam is not going for it. He lays it down and glances over to Fabrice. And Fabrice shows him 1 ace. And then flips up the other one.
Shows the hand, a very friendly, social thing to do here.
Now, Vance,
Nice hand,
doesn't
Fabrice.
Fabrice look like one of those Frenchmen who's riding his moped around?
And, of course, a baguette in the old backpack.
Sometimes people think I'm a little crazy. I don't think the big professional can read what I have. They think like, what did this guy do? Why did he do it? And they don't understand. And I like that.
But I'll tell you something, he's going after $1.3 million in red here this evening. Stay tuned. We're coming back. 6 remain here at the Bay 101.
I almost checked the river. I should have.
Of the shooting stars, I knocked out Carlos Mortensen, knocked out Alan Cunningham. I took out Min the Master, and I got a nifty T-shirt with his face on it, which is probably my favorite of the ones that I have. I want to win today, so no one gets a T-shirt with my face on it. I know that if I win it, I get my own T-shirt. I'm going to scratch out I busted David Williams and write no one busted David Williams.
Bay 101 is known for the shooting star concept. People love to come in here and play a little different tournament. We had 518 players and 50 stars, 1 at each table.
My first time in San Jose. It's nice. It's a good tournament. I enjoyed it.
Playing with a bounty in your head, you have to take into consideration that people are going to call you more liberally because they have an extra 5,000 out of every pot.
This was great. I love the city. I love the food. I mean, I really like it. I like the people. I think I'm going to stay in California.
First place, $1,172,000. Another millionaire created on the World Poker Tour. Real excited about that.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. You're watching the Bay 101 Shooting Star. I'm Vince Van Patten with Mike Sexton.
Our current chip leader is Nam Lee. Second place with nearly $1 million in chips, Ravi Udakumar. A local player here got in on a satellite. Last year we saw the local win. Could another local capture this title? We shall see.
Action's going to be on Fabrice, our Frenchman. He's got ace-5 of diamonds.
He's going to play yet another pot. He limps in here.
Nam Lee with Queen-Jack, calling as well.
He comes in the pot also.
I'm not coming.
Out goes Danny Smith. David Williams looks down at 6-9 on the button. He opts to lay his hand down.
Chad Brown.
And he's got 2 4s, a small pair. He calls out of the small blind. Ravi in the big blind says, give us a flop. So here we go, 4-way action.
How exciting.
Our dealer, Elaine, turns up the flop. Jack 6-3.
Good for Nam Lee. He's picked up top pair.
Chad checks his 2 4s. Ravi checks his 2 6s.
I didn't realize Chad was in here.
And Fabrice with just ace high.
He's going to bet 22,000.
He's betting the baloney.
Now let's see what Nam Lee's going to do with his top pair.
With a nice kicker, queen kicker.
Is he going to call or is he going to re-raise?
Got a phony on your right, and he just calls it very gently. Chad going out. And Ravi with a pair of 6s, a piece of that. He's going to call, so we still have 3-way action.
Hey, you always flop something?
Yeah, a little surprised you call with second pair with 2 bettors in the pot, but Ravi now has a flush draw to go along with his 2 6s. He checks. And Fabrice checks.
And now it's on the man that has a legitimate hand, the pair of jacks, and he's finally betting
Well, you have to think 2 jacks with a queen are the best hand here after both opponents check.
$47,000. Now Ravi, the local here from San Jose, with the 4 flush and the pair. Yeah, he's going to stick around.
Yep, he's going to make the call here. Now, what is Fabrice thinking about? He's got none of this. Well, he saw nobody raised him on the flop when he bet. Ravi is checked and called here. Then put him on that big a hand probably. What is he going to do here with ace-5? What he's wondering is if he makes a raise here.
I raise.
Could he steal the pot from these guys? He is trying it.
He's going to make a move here. Look at this. Very impressive.
Folks, don't turn that dial. We are seeing some poker here.
That is a $100,000 bump. He just doesn't believe Nam's that strong. We know differently. He's pretty decent here. Top pair. Pretty good kicker.
Well, Nam faced with a tough decision here. You're always fearful that your opponent might have flopped a set. 3 3s or 3 6s, something like that, where you're drawing dead.
I'll tell you one thing. Fabrice came into this as the short stack into this hand. He doesn't have money to gamble with here.
Well, that's why it makes it look like he has a hand even more, Vince.
That's true.
And another problem for Nam is Ravi's still in this pot, don't forget.
And Fabrice just praying for a couple laydowns, I'll tell you that much.
Well, Nam Lee wondering. This guy limped in under the gun. Could he possibly have a big pair? Aces, kings, queens in this spot? Did he flop a set? Or is he just making a move here?
Oh, he gets the best hand to lay down right there.
Well, he got the top pair to lay down. Now it's another $100,000 to Ravi. Now, Ravi doesn't think his 2 6s are good, I'm sure.
Ravi with the 4 flush. Don't know. He's getting chips out. Is he going to make this call?
Well, he does make the call here. Fabrice is not liking that, I can promise you.
Well, coming down to the river. Oh, and Ravi hits the flush.
Yep, the 10 of spade comes off. Ravi checks.
I check.
Look at this.
Ravi shows him the flush and is going to take down this pot.
Well, what's interesting is if the spade doesn't come, does Fabrice continue? He probably does. He probably bets 150 or 200. I don't think Ravi can call that. So what a card for Ravi. The local guy from San Jose, 42 years old.
Well, you're right, Vince, but he's playing with a little bit of a heavy heart today. His wife sick in the hospital, couldn't be here with him. So you know he's thinking about her, and you know he wants to win this for her today.
What a story.
Every poker player dreams of being WPT champ. This is a dream come true. My wife is going through some health issues, so hopefully my wife coming through is the $1 million for me.
What is it about the Bay 101 shooting star? Local people seem to do so well. You go back last year, remember Danny Wynn, the former poker dealer, wins the event, and now this year we have Ravi, and the crowd loves it. $1.3 million is going to go to our winner. It's on downtown Chad Brown. He's got a 6-3 of spades. Won't play that junk.
Well, Ravi lays down the 4 deuce.
And now Fabrice with ace-8 of diamonds moves it up to $22,000 to go.
9 call. What a surprise.
And Nam calling again here.
Be nice.
Fabrice laughing a little bit. Every time I raise it, Nam comes in the pot, he says.
And now Danny Smith with Jack 10 is going to call. And David Williams, you'll have to send out a search party for this guy today.
So 3-way action here.
What's going on with you, Dave?
Danny with the Jack 10. Fabrice with the ace-8.
I'll tell you what it was afterwards.
Nam with the King 9. Here comes the flop.
I'm not the kind of guy that traps.
Now flop comes 9-5 tray. Danny checks. Well, Fabrice doesn't know much about that word check. He's going to fire 30,000 at the pot with nothing.
And once again, Namley hitting top pair, just calls it down. He's got 9s with a king kicker. Danny going out.
It's been like this a week already.
It's a 2-way action.
Oh, the ace comes on the turn.
Ooh la la.
Fabrice has now taken the lead, and he's going to bet 40,000 with the 2 aces.
And Namley with chips in front.
No, not yet.
He is going to raise it here.
He doesn't believe Fabrice.
He's made it 55,000 more. Well, now if you're Fabrice, you're wondering what is going on here. What's this guy got? I'm going to look him up here.
Nice pot developing.
Well, these two guys are going round and round so far.
Well, they are playing for table captain here tonight. River card coming up.
Oh, it's a 9.
Oh, gosh.
Nam Lee now has
checks.
3 9s, and again, he has the best hand. Fabrice quickly checking.
What a disastrous card if you're Fabrice right now. Now.
Well, even though Nam Lee has made 3 9s, there are 3 hearts out there, but he's going to bet anyway. He thinks he's got the best hand. Indeed, he does.
It's $160,000.
Well, that's a nice bet to me because there's about $330,000 in the pot. He doesn't want to bet all of Fabrice's chips where he might throw his hand away. He wants to bet enough that he can get called.
Go 3 5s. Why didn't you stay home, Nan? See it open?
Well, the Frenchman has a problem now. He's saying, qu'est-ce que c'est? What is this? What does this guy have?
Now I got hearts to beat, I got 9s to beat, I got ace to beat, I got 7s to beat.
But it keeps his sense of humor.
Well, he recognized how many hands can beat him. Nam flopped a small set. If he made 3
No, I beat
9s,
sevens.
if he's got an ace with a bigger kicker, he made a flush.
Don't try to get a read on Nam Lee.
And look at that poker face of Nam Lee. I mean, really. I think it's as good a poker face as we have out here in the tour.
Could be better.
Fabrice would hate to give this up. Will he give the money back to Nam right now?
There's nothing I can beat if you call the turn, Nan. There's nothing I can beat.
There's a few things he can beat, but Nam doesn't have them. A good laydown by Fabrice there. So Nam Lee again taking the chip lead.
Excellent river for him. He takes a good one.
So even though Fabrice is going backwards, he's playing well, Vance. He makes the right decision about every hand, it seems like to me.
Wait, let's say I'm flopping bad.
It's the Bay 101 Shooting Star with millions at stake. Stay tuned for more on the World Poker Tour.
I would just love to say I won the tournament. Growing up from the age 5, we'd always play card games. It was always competitive. If Grandma wanted to win or the aunts wanted to win, whoever, I wanted to win. And that's where I got my competitive spirit.
Welcome back to the WPT, the Bay 101 Shooting Star. And we have a little inflation going on here at the Bay 101. The antes are going up. $2,000 antes. The blinds are going to be 8 and 16 grand.
Our current chip leaders right now are Nam Lee. In second place, the local, Ravi Udekumar. And in third place right now, the last remaining bounty, David Williams.
It is going to be on our local Ravi. Looks at Jack 4. Doesn't want to play it. And now Fabrice Soulier. He's got Woolworth's 5 and 10. This man hates to lay down a hand, doesn't he?
Yeah, you're right, Vince. He doesn't like to lay many down. But this one he is laying down.
That's got to hurt. Nam Lee now folding a Jack 3. Danny Smith with Queen 10 and the button.
And he caps his cards and he raises it, makes it $45,000 to go.
David Williams still has not played a pot, goes out, and now Chad Brown. He's got a big hand in the big blind. Ace Queen, off suited.
Well, he knows Danny is a relatively conservative player. But still, ace queen, pretty big hand when the button raises it. Well, Chad's just going to call with the ace queen, does not re-raise it here.
Here we go, Danny versus Chad.
Well, the flop comes king 5 deuce with 2 diamonds.
Helps neither player. Action on Chad first.
Well, Chad taking his time here and then checks.
And now
Can the kid pull the trigger? Nope, he checks also. He raised before the flop and didn't bet on the flop.
Wow.
The queen of hearts comes up.
Hits both players, and of course Chad has the bigger kick of the ace, and he's going to check, and he's going to try to trap here, it looks like.
Well, if you're sitting in Danny's seat right now, you got to think your 2 queens are the best hand. Indeed, he thinks it because he's going to bet $70,000.
Yeah, coming out and swinging away 70 grand. Now as Chad's thinking to himself, wait a second, would this guy have bet after the flop if he had a king?
Well, I think he would, Vince, because there's 2 diamonds on the board and a 2-card potential straight on the board. So I don't believe Chad's going to put him on 2 kings.
Now, because the WPT Camp brought to you by Budweiser, we see that Chad Brown has the better kicker. He's got the queens with the ace.
I'm going to raise.
Wow.
And he's going to raise it, Vince. Just a terrific value raise by Chad Brown right here.
Well, it is an additional $100,000 back in the face of the 22-year-old.
Now, Danny Smith knows that Chad's very capable of making a play at a pot. He's got to figure out, is Chad making a move on him, or does he really have a hand that beats my 2 queens?
Tough call to make right now. But then again, in Danny's mind saying, hey, wait, did this guy maybe have a couple of diamonds? Maybe he's pushing it.
Well, Danny's going to make the call.
Yep.
He just has a feeling Chad might be up to no good here.
Potential quicksand. Especially with that card, it's an ace, making 2 pair for downtown Chad Brown. He's only got a few $100,000 left. And he is stacking chips like he's going to bet.
Well, there's $450,000 in the pot. As you said, Chad's got a little less than $270,000 left.
I'm all in.
He's going all in here, Vince.
Yeah, and that's a $268,000 all in.
Well, that bet may save Danny Smith, actually, Vince.
Yeah.
Because he only has 2 queens.
One card I don't want to see.
Very tough to call with third pair for that much money.
And he finally makes the right lay down.
Show him a king jack high.
So Chad Brown taking down that pot.
You'd be my hero if you're showing a bluff there.
I'm once again impressed by the value raise that Chad made on the turn right there. Made it another $100,000 to go with second pair. That is playing some good poker.
Well, let's just hear it for the poker commentators of the world. Chad Brown, you make us very proud.
There you go. Carrying the flag for us, Chad. Keep it up, my man.
It's not about whether you make $1 million. It's about winning. If someone is afraid to look bad just because they're on national TV, they're doing themselves in. If you fail, you fail. But go down swinging.
So Chad Brown making a nice play to take that pot down.
Either it helped
And
or
Vince, we got some tough players at this table. I'm telling you, the 2 local guys, Ravi and Danny Smith, are going to have their hands full beating these 4 guys.
And this tournament is big. We're talking about an over $5 million total prize pool. Don't forget 50 players that had bounties on their back, and we only have 1, David Williams, sticking around to make a final table. This time, David looking down at Queen 8 of hearts, throws it away. And now Chad Brown has Jack 8 of clubs.
David throws away the Queen 8 suited, and Chad raises with the Jack 8 suited.
Yes, he does. Goes up to 40,000. Ravi out. Fabrice not going to play.
Now we're around to Nam Lee, who looks down at ace 3 of diamonds in the small blind.
Yes, he is going to make the call out of the small blind. And now Danny Smith with 9-3 can't call. So 2-way action. Nam Lee with ace 3 of diamonds. Chad Brown with Jack 8 of clubs.
Well, here comes the flop. Oh, nice flop for Chad. He's flopped top pair here. Nam checks this time.
Isn't that beautiful? When you're kind of speculating with a raise, with it's kind of a junk hand, and then you hit your top pair, and there he goes with a bet of $70,000.
Yep, those orange chips are $10,000 each. He's bet $70,000. And David Williams on the sideline saying, geez, I wish I'd have played. I'd have had top pair with a flush draw.
Yes, he would have. Now, Nam Lee.
Wow, what a play, Vince. He has check raised here. He's going to make it $210,000 to go.
Well, he's going to try to bully out here downtown Chad Brown. Things could get ugly. Look at that look by Chad.
Well, let me tell you, you're always a little bit worried when you get check raised that your opponent might have a real strong hand. Now, Chad's wondering, does the guy have a straight draw? Does he have a flush draw? Does he have a pair of 8s with a worse kicker than mine?
Well, one thing for sure, Chad is saying if this guy did flop a set, he never would have raised like this. Most likely he's on the come, and problem is it's so much money.
Well, it's going to be about a third of Chad's chips here if he makes this call. And indeed, he's making the call.
He's a rock there.
Well, he's made the right call. Let's see what happens next.
Kind of squirms in his seat when he does that. Don't think that Nam's not looking. Here we go with a turn card.
The 10 of clubs comes up on the turn. No help to either player. Now, Nam Lee, remember, just has the ace high here.
Let's see if he'll fire again. Look at Chad looking into him. I hate to have a fist fight with Chad Brown. Looks like a tough guy.
Actions on Nam.
Whatever.
And he's betting 300,000 here.
And Chad is just, look at that look.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He thought he had a good flop. Then he got check raised for 210,000. And now his opponent's bet 300,000 on the turn. If you're sitting at that table, folks, your Jack 8 shrinks up right about now.
Okay.
Chad laying it down, and Vince, he just got outplayed there by Nam Lee.
Yes, he did.
Sometimes when that happens at a poker table, you can't get upset about the way you played the pot. You just have to salute your opponent for doing an outstanding job in the way he played that hand. That's why this guy is so tough. He's just tough to read. He's capable of making plays at pots. You know, you're just scared to play a pot with him because if you lose it, you could be the first one out.
Oh, you just got to love this game. Welcome back to the Bay 101 Shooting Star Tournament. We're here on the World Poker Tour. 6 players still remaining tonight. And right now the chip leader is Nam Lee. And so far tonight this game is played looser than an old pair of underwear. Everybody's splashing around. Back down on the felt, Danny Smith with the hat. He's got 8 deuce. He goes out on this one. David Williams with a pair of 3s right behind him.
Well, David trying to get in cheap with the 2 3s. He limps in.
And now Chad Brown with a suited connector, 7-6 of hearts.
Friendly. Call.
Also going to call.
Well, that's the kind of hand you want to see a flop with also, so he calls. Now Ravi on the button has ace-3 of hearts. Well, he's in position. Saw 2 guys limp in front of him. He's going to limp in also.
And now Fabrice with Jack 6 of spades in the small blind, calling as well. This is great.
Cost him a half a bet to make the call. He does so.
And Nam Lee with King 5 says, fine. So look at this, Mike. 5-way action right now.
Like a home game here, Vince.
Yeah, pass me the pastrami sandwich. Spill a few drinks on the table. Here we go.
Well, the flop is ace-8-6. Action's on Fabrice. He quickly checks with bottom pair and a flush draw.
And Ravi hitting the top pair of aces there. Everyone's checking around.
Here he goes, Mr. No Fear himself. No Fear himself.
But Ravi's going to bet the 2 aces.
Well, he's got the real hand. He comes out and bets 80,000.
I'm all in.
Fabrice goes all in because he's got pair of 6s and a 4 flush.
Well, I like this play by Fabrice. He's got a pair and a flush draw. He's check raised all his chips. Going to put the pressure right on him now.
And David quickly folding Chad as well. Back on Ravi.
Now remember, Ravi has the 2 aces.
6-8.
You want to know how much I got?
But he's been check raised for another 350,000-60,000 more.
To say that.
This could be the demise of our Frenchman, Fabrice.
Oh, Vince, I like the check raise by Fabrice here. Had he let out and bet, he's liable to have been called all the way down by the guy that had top pair. Now he's putting so much pressure on him. Perhaps he can get the guy with 2 aces to lay his hand down.
Maybe I misread my hand.
All right, take it.
Oh.
Well, he shows the ace and lays his hand down.
Yes, he does.
It's all right, take it.
So another bold, terrific play by Fabrice Soulier to take down that pot.
Let's play some power poker, guys.
8-6.
5-7 of spade.
8-6.
Could be that. Something like that.
I love the check raise by Fabrice right there.
We'll find out.
2 weeks ago at the LA Poker Classic, he was in second chip position at the end of day 1. You can see why making moves like that.
As a poker player, I think my #1 strength is my heart. Sometimes too much instead of enough brain. They call me crazy sometimes. You got some real... Like in LA, for example, I made a crazy move against James Woods. I was second chip leader with 50 players to go. He took a huge pot from me. And I ended up being 46. That was very disappointing. At least I made somebody happy. I was not supposed to come here today for Bay 101, but I tried to refocus and I said I want a revenge and I want to come back and I want to show I can make it. And I made it, so I'm proud of it.
Very creative guy. When he plays poker, that helps in this game. Got to have imagination to be one of the greats.
All right, the action's going to be on Danny Smith here. Looks down at King 7 of hearts, folds it.
No, sing the Madonna one you were singing yesterday.
Young gun David Williams with Queen 4 spades this time.
It's a good album.
When you were like, time
goes out.
Slowly. Remember you were singing this? I like that.
Now Chad Brown with ace-3 offsuit.
You do it good.
Well, he's reaching for chips.
He looks like he's going to push a little bit. Yes, he is. Goes up to 40,000. But the problem is right behind him, Ravi, ace-jack.
He quickly calls with it.
Yes, he does. And our Frenchman Fabrice
Here comes Fabrice.
with ace-6 goes out. Nam Lee doesn't want any part of it, so we have two-way action.
That flash,
Downtown
Robbie.
Chad Brown with ace-3 up against Ravi with ace-jack.
What a nice laydown by Fabrice there. Just got rid of his ace high quickly. Here comes a flop.
Bingo. Bingo card.
Flop is ace, king 8.
Uh-oh, they both hit aces there.
Yeah, this could spell trouble for Chad Brown here. He's on the short stack at this table. He's flopped top pair here.
And he's first to act, and he's coming out with a bet of $45,000.
And quickly Ravi calls him.
Well, it gives him a break, doesn't bump it there. Here we go with the turn.
Well, the 7 of clubs comes on the turn. If you're sitting in Chad's seat, you might think your aces are good, Vince. You didn't get re-raised before the flop. You didn't get raised on the flop.
Uh-oh.
Well, he's going to bet $100,000.
Like pot committed there.
Well, Ravi says you're pot committed now.
He goes up another $100,000.
Well, Ravi's put the same number of chips in, but a different color. The orange ones are $10,000 each. He's doubled the bet here. There's over $660,000 in the pot right now. Chad's only got $120,000 left or so. So obviously he's going to be pot committed.
But how about the table talk? You're probably pot committed now, and then he goes up another $100,000. Usually when a guy acts strong, he's weak. This time, Robbie's pretty strong. Well, that's the problem playing ace with a bad kicker. If someone happens to have the ace with a big kicker like Ravi, you can go for all your money.
Well, if you got me, Robbie, you got me all in.
Oh, boy.
Well, he's doing it. Indeed, Ravi's got him, but it is not over. Chad can win the pot if a 3 comes up.
Boy pairs I chop, so
He'll get a split pot if an 8 or a 7 comes up. They both have aces up with a king kicker.
3.
But right now, Chad Brown could be heading downtown.
Well, he has imploded. He'd be heading downtown on the city bus, unfortunately for him. Or get a split pot with a 7 or 8.
7, 8, or a 3.
Will he be the first victim at Bay 101? He needs a little luck.
Well, the locals all buzzing here. They're pulling for Ravi.
Here we go with the river card.
And it's a jack. Ravi's
go.
the one that makes 2 pair, and Chad's the one that had to do it. So a good sport, Chad Brown, shaking hands with everybody. Pretty good week here. He's going to be taking home $200,000 for his efforts this week.
We are down to 5 players at the Bay 101. This is getting good. Stay tuned. We're coming back with more here on the World Poker Tour.
My first World Poker Tour final table, I had a big chip lead and really thought I was going to win the event. I saw like the little celebration at the end with me and Mike Sexton and Shauna Hyatt and the beers and toasting.
Here's to our champion, Daniel Negreanu.
I don't think you ever really get over a big second place finish like that. Today I actually was sitting in my room getting ready for this one. I was like, man, I wish I'd have won that one.
Welcome back to the Bay 101 Shooting Star Tournament. I'm Vince Van Patten alongside Mike Sexton.
One of these guys is going to walk home with $1.2 million and a WPT title.
Well, the antes are going up to 3,000. The blinds are going to be 12 and 24. Namely is still our chip leader with about 1.5. Been almost non-existent. Danny Smith from Folsom, California, right around here, has a lot of fans out here. His wife, his brothers, his family. But I'll tell you, he's short stacked down to 411. Needs a nice turnaround, but action's going to be on Ravi first. Got king 5 of spades. Ravi goes out, and now our Frenchman Fabrice looking down at an ace-9 this time.
It seems like he's playing about every pot, but he generally has cards to play him, Vince. This hand, no exception.
What is that now? 24?
24,000 to call.
Wow.
He's in late position with a pretty good hand, 5-handed poker game. He goes up to $56,000 with his ace-9.
Nam Lee finally getting out of his way, and he's got to feel good about that.
Danny Smith folding a queen 8 of clubs in the small blind. Now, he could have played that hand. David Williams now with jack 7 decides in the big blind, I'm going to play.
Well, he's just watching Fabrice play every pot. Says, you just can't run over my big blind.
I didn't think you would fold.
I'm going to give you a little gamble here.
Two-way action, jack 7 versus ace 9.
Well, a great flop for Fabrice there. He's flopped top pair with top kicker. David is checked.
30,000.
Look at this. It's a little $30,000 bet.
A tickler bet, and David Williams calling us. I'm very surprised at this.
Well,
He got no hand and nothing to draw
Might
to.
be trying to take this way later. Here we go with the turn.
Oh, the jack comes off.
Yeah, he hits his hand.
Well, it's the only card David could take the lead with. He's checked again.
And Fabrice coming out and betting an additional $30,000, and just a call by David.
Well, Vince,
Sneaky
this
play.
is a petite bet here. $30,000 into a $200,000 pot.
Ticky-tack poker here. River card coming up.
Well, a 6 comes up at the river.
And now David's going to bet with his top pair. That's $80,000. It's payoff time.
Well, that's going to be fishy for Fabrice. He's going to look him up. He is never going to put him on a jack 7 here, I can tell you. And you can see the look in his face right now. He's saying, how did this guy call me on the flop? Flop was 9-5 deuce, and I bet.
This is David Williams. We've seen this guy take advantage of situations, stick around to take the pot later with a big bet if he doesn't hit. He honestly was just splashing around thinking, maybe I'll take this pot later on down the line. Lo and behold, you hit your hand.
Yeah, very good read.
The last remaining shooting star here tonight got a bounty on his head. That means if you knock him out, you get an additional $5,000 cash.
Hey, he loves the shooting star tournament, Vince. He took out some shooting stars of his own. He knocked out Min, the Master Win, Carlos Mortensen, and Alan Cunningham. He's already put $15,000 in his pocket.
Back down on the table on Fabrice.
He's got the jack 5 of clubs. He's under the gun. He's one of the short stacks here. He opts to lay it down.
Nam going out, and now Danny Smith with Queen 8 in the button. Nope, not going to do it. David Williams with a pair of 8s.
75.
He's going to be the raiser. He's going to make it $75,000. Ravi, the only one to beat. He's got a suited connector, 6-7 of hearts.
I'm learning.
Says he's learning, and he calls it.
Well, it's the kind of cards that you want to see a flop with. If you get lucky and catch something, you might break somebody. Here comes the flop. Oh, we could see some fireworks here. David Williams has the overpair, the 2 8s. Ravi has flopped top pair and a straight draw.
Yes, he has, but guess who's coming out? David betting $150,000.
Call.
And a quick call by Ravi.
Well, you can't blame him for calling here. He's flopped top pair and a straight draw. He doesn't know David's got the overpair here. Here comes the turn card.
Well, it is an inside straight draw, of course. Let's see if he can catch here. Oh, my goodness, he did it.
He's hit the straight. So that's going to be a dangerous card for David Williams.
David quickly checks it. Wants to see if Ravi's for real. And look at this, $200,000 for real.
David not liking the open-end straight that's on the board, but still he has the overpair and a possible straight draw himself, so he's going to make the call for $200,000 here.
Boy.
So a big pot right now, over $860,000 in this pot.
Trouble everywhere. River card coming up.
10 of diamonds, and again David with the overpair checks.
And Ravi once again getting busy. Another $200,000 bet.
Yep. Now David's problem is there's over $1 million in the pot. It cost him $200,000 to call. And yes, there is an open-end straight on the board. And you might not think Ravi would bet unless he had it, but still so much money out there. David's going to make the call.
Well, I'll tell you something, he's not going to like it. As great as David is, I think it's a big misstep to make this call on the turn. You're talking about a very solid, tight player being Ravi, a local player that doesn't want to humiliate himself. And when you see those kind of cards come up, I think you got to lay the 8s down.
I mean, would you really think that an amateur would bet without the straight in that situation? No. I wouldn't think so.
From the city by the bay, from San Jose. Don't go away. We're coming right back.
Welcome back to the final table of San Jose's Bay 101 Shooting Star. I'm Courtney Friel, and here's how the stars have aligned so far in this fight for poker fame and fortune.
Early on in San Jose, French poker star Fabrice Soulier talked his way into contention.
I don't need to look at the camera. I know he's got kings. So
Nam Lee kept his cool and his chip lead. David Williams, the last remaining bounty, stayed out of the firing range. And it was a local hero who proved to a poker commentator that this game is a lot harder than it looks on TV. Now, 5 players remain in Northern California with their sights set on poker glory and drawing dead aim on $1 million first place prize.
You're watching the best players in the world go at it at the Bay 101 Shooting Star event. I'm Vince Van Patten with Mike Sexton, where 5 players remain, and the winner's going to take home the $1.2 million first prize. Miracle dust could be in the air. Our local Ravi Udekumar is now our chip leader. He's not a professional. He's just a guy, a regular guy with game. It's on him, Ravi. This time looking down at 6-3 of hearts. Can't play this one.
Over to the Frenchman now, Fabrice Soulier, who looks down at a nice hand. He's got ace-queen. Let's see how he's going to play it.
Getting whittled away. He's down into the 5s right now. Not too many chips.
I'll play my change.
Well, he's going to raise it. Makes it 59,000 to go.
What is that? How much?
So he's raised it 35,000.
Yes, he does. Next man to beat. His old nemesis, Nam Lee. Throws away a king 7.
What was it last time on my big blind? What, 56?
Danny
58?
Smith with Dolly Parton 9-5 goes out, and now David Williams also with a big hand. He has the same hand, ace queen, in the big blind.
Well, he's seen Fabrice play very aggressively here today, so he's coming over the top with his ace queen.
Oh yeah.
He makes it a cool $250,000 to go here.
A lot of pushing here. Right back into Fabrice.
Well, Fabrice has only got about $500,000 left. So you'd think that if he's going to make this call, he may just go ahead and push the rest of his chips out there.
You might fold if you move in.
But if you're sitting in Fabrice's seat, you're scared to death your opponent might have an ace-king. Even if he had a pair, do you really want to race for all your money here?
Big laydown. Big laydown.
Fabrice says a big laydown, meaning he's going to throw this hand away, I guess.
He's going to throw the jambon sandwich away here.
Well, he shows the ace-queen. Notice David did not show his cards.
Here, use this one. Use this one.
Well, now he shows it.
He's being a good sport.
Well, he said, Monsieur, you show me your cards, I'll show you mine.
Kitty game's down the street.
Oh, man. You see, now when you can trash talk like that, that makes you more money.
Oh, you got to like it.
Well, Mike, as you know, the success of the WPT Tour has given rise to many poker superstars.
Oh, you're right, Vince. And as our own Courtney Friel found out, for some of those players, the fans have become a big part of the game. That's all in this week's WPT Academy.
Some folks will travel any distance to see their local football team or baseball team play an away game. So when the WPT rolls into town, it's no surprise that we're starting to see our own legions of fans.
I feel like Ben Affleck when I walk up here. I mean, I pull up to the front door and there's mobs of people with paper in their hands, and pens and cameras. They want photographs, autographs.
Our hero. Picture. Thank you. They're really nice. It's really fun. They're very supportive.
Thanks so much. You're great.
Then it reminds you that people out there watching the World Poker Tour, and that there's a huge fan base for poker.
I took this week off work, and I'm down here to see the World Poker Tour, to see all the stars and all the action.
There you go. Thank you.
I saw David Williams. I saw Doyle Brunson.
Lane Flack, Daniel Negreanu.
John Jawanda.
Gus Hansen.
I like the Unabomber. My personal favorite is Action Dan Harrington.
It's an exhilarating experience. It's nice having people cheer for you when you win a hand.
When everyone's kind of watching you, it just makes you want to play your best.
I don't have tickets yet for the final table. I was kind of hoping I could get some.
It's the toughest ticket in town.
So I jumped up and I waved my arms as loud as I could. And I got tickets. Yay!
Well, I tell you gotta love the poker fans. By the way, a poker fan is really just a poker player that went broke.
They love their poker up here in San Jose. They line up for hours here to watch this Shooting Star final table. And amazingly, 2 local guys that play in this club still in this tournament, this final table, one of whom is the chip leader.
Let's take a look at the WPT Cam brought to you by Budweiser. The Frenchman's got a 9-5 Dolly Parton.
He lays it down.
And now Nam Lee with Queen 8 of spades, getting chips out.
Yep, he's going to fire at this pot, bet 65,000.
A very quiet Danny Smith goes out with King 7, and now David Williams in a small blind. He's got a big hand, Ace 10 of clubs.
Yep, he quickly makes the call.
Ravi goes out with 8-4, so two-way action between these two. Ace 10 versus Queen 8.
Here comes the flop. Now the flop is King 9 deuce. No help to either player.
And David quickly checked it. Right back on Nam. Nam hitting nothing as well.
And Nam is going to bet here $55,000.
With no hesitation, David quickly calling this.
Well, he could backdoor a flush here or hit an ace or something, but a gambling style call here by David Williams. Let's see what develops.
Here we go with the turn card. It's a jack of diamonds.
That gives David a gut shot straight draw. He checks. And notice Nam Lee also has a gut shot straight draw, but it doesn't look like he's checking, Vince. He is betting. He is doing it. He's pulled the trigger here for $65,000.
He's going for 2 bluffs in a row, and he gets quickly called by David.
What a call by David here. Off to the river we go. The board pairs kings.
David checking again.
Well, he has the best hand with ace high. And Nam Lee fire another shell out to this pot.
Oh, he is going for the hat trick. A double-fisted bet of $315,000.
You're right, Vince. It's the heavy artillery shells here.
I could make David choke on that toothpick there.
Well, David Williams only has an ace high here. His opponent raised before the flop. He bet on the flop. He bet on the turn. And now he opened the artillery up here on the river. Could David possibly make this call with ace high and win this pot? He just senses that his opponent is bluffing.
It would be a ridiculously great call.
Vince, you can see he wants to make it. He's even taking his glasses off. You can take the glasses on or off, but when you're staring down at Nam Lee, I can tell you, folks, you get nothing out of this guy. Perhaps he's put his opponent on a flush draw here, something that didn't develop.
Was it the fact that Nam kept betting so fast? Well, finally, he lays down the hand. Just too much pressure.
Wow. Chalk one up for Nam Lee there. The guy raised before the flop, he got called. He had nothing on the flop. He bet, he got called again.
Why'd you let me draw so cheap?
He bet on the turn, he got called again, and he fired again at the river.
We're friends, right?
You know, Stu Unger once told me a lot of guys will bluff at a pot. Some will even fire 2 shells, but there's not many guys who will fire 3 shells. We just saw Nam Lee do it right there. Salute this guy, folks. He is a real poker player.
I did knock out Phil Lack, my buddy Phil Lack. It was fun, you know, he was a great player.
Is that going to be the right size? Because I want you to wear this every day.
The t-shirt I got from Phil Lack, maybe I'm going to frame it and put it in the house.
Welcome back to the Bay 101 Shooting Star. I'm Vince Van Patten, alongside my friend Mike Sexton. 5 players still remaining. Our chip leader at this point is the local Ravi, close to $1.9 million.
And the 2 short stacks right now are Fabrice Soulier and Danny Smith.
Who's going to be the newest millionaire on the WPT? Action on Nam Lee.
Nam Lee just firing shell after shell on that last pot, bluffing the pot and taking it away from David Williams.
Stacking up chips, looking around at a 4-3.
Going to throw it away and go back to stacking chips.
Danny Smith still not playing.
Well, he's still not catching any cards either in his defense.
David Williams with the button. He's got Queen Jack. He's got money, and he's betting.
Yep, he's going to raise it. Makes it $75,000 to go.
Into Ravi. Now, Ravi
quickly calls with the King Deuce of Hearts. Starting to gamble a little more with the chip lead. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Fabrice going out, so 2-way action. Here's the flop.
And the flop is Queen 6-3. David Williams flopping top pair. Ravi flopping a flush draw and checking.
He's 4 flush checking, and David popping out with $200,000.
Yeah, he is not fooling around here. It's a $200,000 bet. And quickly called by Ravi.
Crowd loving this. They're Ravi, hometown hero.
David knows he called a raise before the flop. He calls a bet on the flop. And now a 3rd heart comes on the board.
He's got the flush, and he checks it.
It's quickly going check, check here. What a nice check by David Williams on the turn there.
Here's the river. It's an ace.
Ravi reaching for chips. And he's going to bet $200,000.
So sick.
This is the same scenario we saw a while back when Ravi made a straight on the river and bet $200,000. David Williams paid him off there with an overpair.
Well, David's thinking to himself, is this guy capable of bluffing? If so, I have the winner, but I haven't seen him do it so far tonight. Got to know your player.
Well, let's see if he learned his lesson from last time. Remember, last time he paid off the $200,000 bet on the river. Here he's going to show the queen and lay it down, Vince. So a good lay down by David Williams and a really good check by him on the turn there.
Hey.
Robbie going to show him just the king. But look at this. David wants to see both cards.
Well, there's a rule in poker. If you show one card, you must show them both. David Williams picking up on that quickly.
And he clenches his fist. He's so happy he made that lay down. Very shrewdly, he knows the little nuances of the poker rules. The guy shows you one card of the table. You have to see both. David quickly moving to that, saying, I want to see both.
Might as well call 75,000 with the king deuce of hearts.
So Ravi on a little roll right now. He has crossed the $2 million chip mark. First time that anybody's done that. He is our chip leader.
And he's got the magic Bay 101 dust floating around him. The non-pro is in control right now. Back down to the table, Mike. Danny Smith now looking down at Jack 9 of diamonds.
Well, he's sort of been a non-entity so far today, Vince. Hadn't caught any cards.
David Williams with Woolworths 5 and 10 goes out.
Over to Ravi. He picks up a strong hand on the button here, an ace-queen, and he comes in for $60,000.
Now it's on Fabrice in the small blind. He's got a lousy-looking 8-3 offsuit.
Vince, what is he doing here? He's reaching for chips. Can you believe he's going to come over the top?
Oh, man.
With the second worst starting hand you can have and hold him.
He is going to try to push these guys around. Nam quickly folding back on Ravi.
All in.
Oh.
He's going all in.
2 words Fabrice just didn't want to hear.
Well, Vince, you got to admire the heart of Fabrice for making a play like this, but you got to question it when he's on the short stack and he's going up against the chip leader.
Why, I never lost this hand today.
Then try now. Is it try now? Robbie's so awesome.
Two nines versus 2 8s.
Well, I tried.
He elects to play another hand.
He tried his right, and it didn't work. Some players might question the play there, especially when you're on the short stack going up against a chip leader. But Vince, he's got a lot of heart.
But right now, he is down to his last croissant. He has about 287,000 left.
No, everything going Ravi's way right now at this final table. Meantime, the action's going to be on David Williams here. He looks down at Jack 10 of spade.
Can you see my hand?
No.
Okay.
He has been very active as of late, and here he goes again.
You're right. He comes in for 70,000 here.
Ravi laying down his 10-8, and now Fabrice, our Frenchman, he's got a pair of deuces here with the button.
Well, he's got the 2 ducks. Now, it's the kind of hand that if you're going to move at the pot, you want to be the first one to bet at it normally.
I'm all in.
He's going all in anyway. The Frenchman going for it right here.
Nam quickly folding his hand. Danny out, and now back to David. Is this enough money to knock out David?
I can tell you exactly.
Yeah, it's going to cost him over 200,000 more to call.
I'm sure Fabrice would just like to take the pot right now.
Well, he would love to take it right now, and he doesn't care what David's got. He knows the very best situation he can be in is a race. David's going to have at least 2 overcards.
No, 290 total.
Oh, wow. I'm probably going to call.
Oh, boy.
It's 175, 180 more.
They'll call me a donkey. 180 more?
No, wait.
It's getting better by the moment.
Well, unfortunately for David Williams, Namli threw a Jack 10 away, Danny Smith threw a Jack away, and Ravi threw a 10 away. So a lot of the cards he needs are already in the muck.
It's getting better.
I give you a discount.
David looking very optimistic, like it's a bargain, but you don't want to double up the talent of Fabrice, that's for sure.
Little does he know, he's in about as good a shape as he could be in right here.
Whee! Gamble!
Well, he's getting 2 to 1 odds on his money, Vance. About.
Did I catch you?
You got a pair?
Hell no! You have a pair? Please be deuces.
Oh, he called the hand.
What a call by David Williams.
You're a psycho.
A horse race about to begin. Stay tuned. We're going to see the conclusion in just a moment on the World Poker Tour. Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. The Frenchman has gone all in with the deuces, and David Williams making the call with Jack 10 of spades. Here comes the flop.
Well, the flop is 9-7-4. So far, so good for the Frenchman. Right now, David Williams looking for a jack or a 10 or an 8 to make a straight, which would give him the nuts. It's over. Look at David Williams. He has done it. He made the tough call. He got lucky. Wins the pot. And Fabrice Soulier is going to be our 5th place finisher.
That's going to wrap it up for the former director out of Paris. I'm sure we're going to see him again at a WPT final table.
There is no doubt we're going to see him again. This guy has got tremendous creativity at the poker table, a great poker feel, as I say. You can see what kind of heart this guy's got. He is a poker player.
Well, fifth-place finisher going to take home $240,000. We've got to say goodbye. Right now, he's going up to talk to Courtney.
How do you think that you played?
I think I played okay, maybe a little over-aggressive. I started playing too many hands, and I got unlucky because I could have won the hands I played. I was playing for the title instead of trying to grabbing spots and spots.
Well, you know what? Bonne chance.
Merci beaucoup. I'll be back for sure, and I'll win next one.
And with 4 players left, 3 of them 25 years of age or younger. Amazing how youth is prevailing on the World Poker Tour this season.
Ravi, about $2.2 million, and he is the crowd favorite.
He's 42 years old, far and away the oldest guy at the table.
Back down on the green felt. David Williams looking at King 3 of clubs. He's first to act.
Well, he just won the last pot, so he's feeling good right now. He's going to raise this one up to $150,000.
Into the chip leader. Ravi, he goes out with 10-8, and now Nam Lee takes a peek down at a Queen 5 of spades in the small blind.
Remember the last time they played a big pot? Nam fired shell after shell after shell at David and took the pot away from him. He stares down at David, and David now peeks back at him a little bit.
All right.
Well, that peekaboo might have cost him because Nam is going with his instincts and coming over the top.
Let's find out the increment.
Well, it's a healthy increment, Vince.
Oh, yeah, it's a big stack.
He is raising him $320,000 more.
Oh, now Danny Smith going out with Jack 7 back on David, who has been foiled apparently. Just with King 3 trying to slop around there.
Well, Vince, I got to tell you, I am in shock at how well Nam Lee has played David Williams all day long. The last time they clashed in a big pot, he took it away from him by bluffing at him. He's trying to do the same thing again right now.
320.
He just got some type of tell on David here, I guess. And David has to lay the hand down.
Well, Vince, I'd have to agree with you. Looks like to me Nam had a read on David Williams there that he wasn't that strong. And in that case, you don't have to play your cards. Doesn't matter what you have. When you sense weakness, just come over the top and take the pot away from your opponent. Nam Lee did it perfectly right there.
Was David sitting up a little too uptight, a little too forward? What was it, man? Well, I've got to know.
I'm 25 years old. I'm from Southern California. I've been playing professional poker for 2 years now. Tuan really taught me how to play poker. We have the same last name. Everybody figured we're brothers because we're always around each other. Actually, best friends.
Just wasn't his day here on the final.
My first time playing on a WPT final table. I was a little nervous. This time, I'm real confident I'm going to win. I have to have this title. Tuan has 3 titles now. I got none, you know. I can't go around with him with no title. The fans, they say, hey, you're that guy, Tuan's brother. That's what I get. But hopefully after today, I get to be my own person.
I want to join the Lee gang. They're very prosperous. I want to know the secrets.
Well, you're right about that, Vince. They're tearing up out here on the World Poker Tour, no doubt about it. Tuan Lee, the leading all-time money winner on the World Poker Tour, and Nam Lee going for his first WPT title tonight and in great shape to get one.
Back to the table. On the local, the chip leader, Ravi Udikumar. Oh.
And he looks down at 2 6s.
Wired pair of 6s.
And he just limps in with 2 6s.
That's right, Nam quickly folding. Of course, Danny goes out.
And David Williams with an ace 10 here. Is he going to come back over the top? Nope. He's had enough of Ravi. Showing him the goods all night long. He's just going to check and say, give us a flop here.
He has learned his lesson. Here comes the flop.
Oh, the flop is 8-6-4. Ravi has flopped 3 6s.
David quickly checks it. Ravi flopped the set, but he's not going to play it tricky. He's coming out, and he's going to bet. He bets $80,000.
Oh, don't tell me, David. Be careful, my friend. David Williams with just an ace and a 10 here is going to call this $80,000 bet.
Well, we've seen him do this thing before just to try to take a pot away later if he doesn't catch.
Oh, man. He's hit the joker for his hand, the ace of hearts, and it could spell disaster for him.
Could be
he now has top pair and a flush draw.
Look at this. They both check this, though.
I don't like that play, Vince.
Jack on the river.
Well, David's got to think he's got the best hand now with 2 aces.
Quick bet from David Williams.
Well, you can't blame David Williams for betting there. He's quickly called by Ravi here, who shows him the 3 6s. And Vince, it turns out that it was a lucky check by David on the turn there. But I'm amazed that Ravi would check 3 6s on the turn with 3 hearts out there on the board.
In fact, if he makes it, I think David's going to come over the top. He doesn't think he's that strong, and he's going to lose all his chips.
Well, you don't bet the river? I bet the river. Of course I bet the river.
No question about it. I believe he would have checked raised for sure there with top pair and the flush draw.
I'm sure it's good when he comes like, yeah.
Ravi, the hometown favorite, massive chip leader at this point.
2 are gone, 4 are left. The battle by the Bay continues right after this.
World Poker Tour continues. The Bay 101 shooting star. We started 4 days ago, 518 players. We're down to 4.
And right now it's the Ravi show here at the Bay 101. The local player who won a satellite to get into this tournament. The oldest guy at the table at 42. The massive chip leader right now with over 2.6 million in chips. The other 3 guys at the table, all 25 years or younger, coming after him.
Back to the action on Nam Lee. Looks down at King Deuce this time. Goes out. Danny Smith now with the button.
Here comes Danny.
Well, here he goes. He's on the short stack. He's making his move right now. Got King 10 on the button. And before he can get him out there, David Williams has looked him up with an ace high.
Wow.
Ravi has them both dominated. He's got an ace 10. He threw it away. He'd be up against King 10 and ace 6.
Oh, well, man, I had the best hand. You can knock us both out.
He had both of them dominated, so to speak.
Now, I'll tell you one thing. If Danny Smith doesn't win this hand, I say get rid of the hat. Just didn't bring you luck here today.
Oh, a king right on the top. Got it. The youngster, Danny Smith, getting lucky there to spike a king and take the lead in this pot. David Williams is now looking for an ace, 2 running cards to make a straight, or 2 running cards to make a flush.
With 2 aces left.
That's what he's going to have if he's going to take out this 22-year-old.
Ace of hearts. Ace of hearts.
22-year-old from Folsom, California, hits another king.
Well, it is over. David Williams drawing dead now. So the youngster biding his time, finally getting his money in there with the worst hand, but yet doubling up to stay alive. In the meantime, David Williams was crippled there, Vince. He is down to about 150,000 is all he has left here. So he will become a desperado very shortly.
Yeah. Where are you when I need you?
Hey, I thought David got you, so I didn't want to bother with it.
Be patient and get in with the best hand. Way to be patient.
Well, Danny Smith, the 22-year-old, who looks like he should have a laptop under one arm and a snowboard under the other, doubling up here to stay alive.
David Williams with 2 legs in the coffin at this point. He's down to $153,000.
And he's going to have to get it in there pretty quick.
He has a lot of class, this young man. David Williams, always fun to watch. Let's go back down the table.
Good fold.
It's going to be on the Danny. Danny's got ace 4 this time.
Not a bad hand in a 4-handed poker game, but not good enough for him. He lays it down.
And now David Williams, he's got queen 8 of clubs. Well, there it is. He's gone all in with it.
I'd go all in with it too, Vance, if I had it on the button. You just got to hope you get lucky and win the pot.
But Robbie with ace 7 of clubs quickly calls.
Well, now Nam Lee.
King 6 off suit.
He's got the big blind out there, 40,000. Going to cost him another 108,000 to call. And he recognizes there's no side pot. So chances are there's not going to be much betting here after the flop, because everybody at the table would like to see David Williams hit the road. It's sort of an unwritten rule in tournament poker that if there's not a side pot and you got a chance to take somebody out at this late stage, you more or less check it down.
How good am I running at this table?
It's a good time to take a little bit of a gamble. And look at this. He has made the call with king 6.
Well, I don't blame him. He's got the chips to do it.
David Williams circling the drain at this point.
Can I look at the hands? Am I allowed to look at them?
Well, once he can look at the cards, he cannot, because they can continue betting on the side. This pot is not over, even though David Williams is all in. If he wins this pot, he can triple up.
Here we go with the first 3. Double Dolly Parton 9 to 5. They both check it on the side. Here comes the turn card.
Well, a deuce comes off. Now, David Williams is going to have to catch a queen or an 8, or he's going to be out of here.
Check, check again, and it's a king.
Ravi checks. Nam Lee has made kings up. He is going to win this pot.
David getting the backpack on.
In addition to winning the pot, he gets the $5,000 bounty for knocking David Williams out.
Yes, he does. That's going to do it for David Williams. He'll pick up $280,000. The crowd loves this guy. He is our fourth-place finisher.
Well, Vince, it's only fitting that Nam Lee actually took him out because he's the guy that's tortured David all day long.
That's right. He is a bounty.
So Nam Lee is also going to collect an extra $5,000 for busting him.
So he just gave the free shirt away to Nam. David Williams has to say goodbye, fourth place.
Well, I'm sure David himself will question some of the decisions he made here tonight. He's up with Courtney. Let's see what he's got to say.
Thanks, guys. David, you're in fourth place. How do you feel you played at the table?
I thought I played awesome. I mean, I got my money in most of the time with the best hand, and when I made big bets, I was ahead. Ravi could, he caught his flushes, caught his straights, and that's it. What can you do? You play your best, get your money in good, and hope it works.
We are down to 3 players. Stay tuned. We're coming back with more on the World Poker Tour. Welcome back to the WPT. I'm Vince Van Patten alongside Mike Sexton. David Williams is our fourth place finisher.
I'm pushing my brother out there.
And 3 is the magic number right now. You know, in a 3-handed poker game, anyone can win it. And the winner today will take home $1.2 million.
Ravi Udikumar is out in front. He's got nearly $2.4 million in chips. Still anybody's game. They've all got over $1 million in chips. But Vince, if I had to pick somebody right now, I'd pick Nam Lee because of his experience.
Well, it's going to be on your pick. Nam Lee right now, he's got Queen 10. Open up your game just a little bit more when you're down to 3-handed. But he elects to fold. Kind of surprising.
Well, that is a little surprising.
Right behind him, Danny Smith. He has ace-7 of diamonds.
Well, Vince, he knows the ace-high is a favorite over a big blind hand. So he's getting out raising chips. You're going to make it $120,000 to go.
Yeah, the kid going into a different gear, it seems like. Now, Ravi just with 5-3 offsuit. Will he stick around with a very tight player?
Wow, he is making the call. He's in position. He's got the chip lead, but he's gambling here against this guy. Here comes the flop. Well, it's come King Jack 4 with 2 clubs.
Helps neither player.
And he quickly checks.
He does check.
Well, that's something a top pro would not do, Vince. They raise before the flop. They're going to bet on the flop. I guarantee you that. And Ravi with absolutely nothing. He's got a 5 high. He's going to take a stab at it, Vince.
Wow.
He bets $100,000 now. It's not a big bet into a pot that has over $250,000 in it. But still, he understands how conservative Danny has played all day long. He's just hoping he doesn't make this call.
Now, is Danny going to come over the top and make a move here?
Well, his wife looking on intently here. Well, Danny's not going to do any guessing. He's just going to throw away the ace-high.
Well, I got to tell you, Mike, that is a big mistake. 3-handed poker game. You raise before the flop. Like you said, you got to bet after the flop no matter what hits.
He just takes the conservative route, Vince. Let's see if it pays off for him in the end.
Meanwhile, nice play by Ravi. Very solid. The manufacturing manager. This is a dream come true for the 42-year-old. Extends his lead to close to $2.7 million. Ravi looks down to the king-queen this time.
Well, a nice hand in a 3-handed poker game.
Well, he's going to play it sneaky, just calling. Nam just calling with 10-3.
Well, it's on Danny Smith now.
Wow, he's got a nice hand. Mid-pair 6s.
Well, he saw both players limp in, meaning they're probably not that strong. He's going to raise advance with the 2 6s.
There you go. Makes a nice pop of $150,000.
Well, they're still getting 2-to-1 odds on their money here, Vince, to make a call.
Raise.
Oh,
Ravi coming over the top. He's not calling. Nope. He's re-raising. So Ravi limped in and now is coming back over the top of Danny Boy.
400 more.
And that's a $400,000 re-raise. Nam getting up and getting out.
He's hoping these 2 guys clash.
Ravi's setting him up there, just calling on the button with king-queen. And now back to the mid-pair.
Vince, he's only got about 670 or 80,000 left, so if he calls this bet, you know he's going to put it all out there. He looks up at his family. He says, well, this could be it. I may have to go with this hand.
You got a pair?
Danny asking the question if he got a pair. Because if he doesn't, you know he wants his chips in this pot. He's afraid of the overpair right now.
Come on, Ravi, you got a pair?
Well, at the poker table, you can ask questions, but the opponent doesn't have to answer you, and Ravi is not.
I'm on.
Oh, he's going to do it.
Well, he's done it.
And he's quickly gotten called by Ravi.
Yep. So we got a race situation. Danny's not going to mind that. He's actually a slight favorite to win this pot with the 2 6s over the king-queen. But so far, everything has gone Ravi's way at this final table. And if this hand goes his way, we'll be down to heads-up play.
Well, this could be some turnaround for Danny Smith. Wife Carly in the stands. She is up on her feet, absolutely thrilled.
Danny Smith's tournament life is on the line right here.
Crowd going berserk. 2 local guys. Here's the flop.
Oh, a queen right on the flop. Danny's going to have to catch a 6 now to win this hand.
Ravi looks like the cat that swallowed the canary. There's a turn. It's a 9 of hearts.
Well, if a 6 doesn't come on the river, Danny Smith will be heading down Route 66. And that's exactly what's happened. Danny Smith is going to be out in 3rd place. So things continuing to go Ravi's way here at this final table. He wins the race. He knocks out 22-year-old Danny Smith.
And Danny enjoying the moment. He's going to pick up $340,000.
Well, Vince, at 22 years of age to make a WPT final table, that's a pretty good showing. When he looks back on this final table, I believe he's going to realize he played a little bit too conservative to win this event.
We are down to 2 players here at the Bay 101. First, our money presentation.
Show us the money.
And what a presentation we're going to see today. Check this out, Vince.
Wow.
The Dragons are in the house.
What a good sport Chad Brown was to get in one of these costumes. Man, this is bad on a hangover, I'll tell you that much. Look at the money getting coughed up.
That's a lot better than fire. Out comes the cash.
Oh, yeah.
Real cash.
Wow.
You're looking at about $2 million worth, folks.
I would date one of those dragons for that cash.
Tournament director Matt Savage putting the beautiful trophy out there. It's time to get down to the real deal. Heads up for the title and the cash here at the Shooting Star Tournament.
Welcome back. And here we go down Champions Row. The heads-up battle about to begin here on the World Poker Tour. 2 exceptional players. Ravi Udikumar has about $3.5 million and Namli with about 1.7.
It's the local player, Ravi, who won a satellite to get into this tournament against professional player Nam Lee from Huntington Beach. So far, everything has gone Ravi's way at this final table. Let's see if Nam Lee can put a kink in that parade.
Okay, Ravi's got the button. First to act will be him. He looks down at a nice mid-pair pair of 6s. Gonna limp in.
Wow, I'm not fond of this play.
And Nam Lee with a suited connector, 9-8 of hearts, says, let's go.
So here comes the flop. Oh, and Nam Lee has flopped the joint. He's got the best hand possible right now, a jack high straight. Let's see how he's going to play it.
I mean, you got to adjust your eyes when you see that hit.
Well, he's going to check it. He's throwing the rope, as we say, to his opponent.
100.
And he does it.
Well, Ravi bets out with the 2 6s. He bets 100,000.
Wow.
3 overcards out there. Now let's see what Nam Lee's going to do. He's just calling here, Vince.
He's going to nurse his man. Just nurse him along.
Well, he's hoping Ravi's going to continue to bet this hand. Now the board pairs 10s. So Nam no longer has the nuts, but a powerful hand, and he checks. And here comes Ravi.
An additional $200,000 bet flies into the pot.
Let's see what Nam's going to do with his straight now. Nam did not raise before the flop. He did not bet on the flop. He's checked on the turn.
Now look at this. He's looking over here like he's a little weak. I mean, there's a lot of competition in the acting world, I'll tell you.
Raise.
And here comes the raise.
Well, let's see how much he's going to raise here. $300,000 raise. So he's making it a cool $500,000 here. And it's $300,000 more to Ravi. And Ravi only has a pair of 6s, remember.
Now, I think this is kind of a gimme at this point, like they say in golf. I think you got to lay this down. If the guy is bluffing you too good, give it to him. Don't jeopardize the whole title and get involved anymore in this hand.
Well, the only way you could call with 2 6s here is if you put your opponent on a flush draw or some type of open-end straight draw like a queen-9 or a king-queen. But still, would a guy check raise with a flush draw here?
And by the way, if he had those hands, I think he'd have raised before the flop.
Or on the flop anyway.
That's right. Robbie's making this call.
Yeah. Robbie better catch a 10 or a 6 to win this hand.
He is putting in the extra money. This is a potential catastrophe going on here.
And a queen comes off. So now even if Robbie put him on one of those open-end straight draws we were talking about, he's still beat because Nam would have made 2 queens. Action is on Nam. He has the straight. Well, look how much time he's taking to bet here, Vince. He just check raised and got called. There's about $1.3 million in the pot. Nam wants to make a bet he can get paid off with here.
The Nam gang on their feet, rooting their man on. As he puts in, it looks like $500,000.
Well, that's what it is.
And meanwhile, Ravi looking like death warmed over.
Well, Vince, the only way he could possibly call this is if he thinks Nam's on a stone bluff here. If he has a flush draw or something like that. There's no other way you can possibly call with 2 6s here.
But the way he's been running all night, making everything happen, is his confidence so high? Does he want to run this gamble out? It's $500,000 more.
And if he makes this call and loses this pot, we're going to have a new chip leader just that quick in this heads-up battle.
Now listen to that. That's the outside crowd that's watching on the cameras. They want their man Ravi to win this.
Well, all the locals rooting for Ravi, and why not? Keep the money in the house. He's reaching for chips, Vince. An overflow crowd here at the Bay 101. They're chanting out in the other rooms. Ravi. He's the local guy.
And I'll tell you something. Look at Nam Lee. Get nothing on that guy.
I call.
Oh! He's made the call, and he's not going to like it when Nam turns up the straight. Well, Vince, here's a case where I think we agree that Ravi just gave away $800,000 there. He didn't have to. He could have got away from that hand on the turn when his opponent check raised him. He did not do so, and then paid off another $500,000 on the river.
It was a tremendous misplay by the local Ravi Uda Kumar. He's 42 years old, but now he's 84.
With that hand, for the first time in this heads-up battle, Nam Lee takes the chip lead.
Somebody's going to become a millionaire tonight, and it's going to be one of these two guys. The crowd just so boisterous, loving this event. Cards are in the air. Action's going to be on Nam Lee.
Still trying to stack up the chips from the last pot. And he's going to limp in here on the button. He just calls with the ace high.
Raise.
And Ravi right behind him with ace-3 of clubs says raise.
Well, he's going to raise at $120,000, Vince, and I don't blame him here. You have to think your ace high is the best hand when the guy limps in on the button.
How much chip do you have? About 2.2.
So Nam Lee knows for sure that he does have the chip lead. Now what's he going to do with the ace-7?
How much more? 120.
And Nam Lee is going to make the call.
So ace-7 versus ace-3.
And it's come queen-7, 4 with 2 clubs. Ravi has flopped the nut flush draw and is going to bet here, Vince.
4 flushing, betting $200,000. And of course, Nam Lee getting a piece of that pair of 7s.
Yep, he's got second pairs, we say, and he's called the $200,000.
He's not going anywhere.
So right now, Nam Lee with the best hand with the pair of 7s.
Here comes the turn card. It's a 3.
Well, that gives Ravi a pair of 3s with his nut flush draw.
This would be a great time to get a little revenge. And look at this, $250,000 with the 4 flush and a little pair of 3s.
Well, if Nam thought he had the best hand in the flop, he probably still thinks it. So he's making the call for $250 here.
He is correct. And here comes the river card. And
oh, the ace of spade. Both players have made aces up. Nam has the better 2 pair, though.
400.
$400,000 bet. Ravi betting into him.
Bet.
Well, you know Nam loves this card on the river. But I guarantee you Ravi liked it too. The only question is going to be is if Nam Lee going to raise this pot. Yes, there's a possible straight out there. Yes, somebody could have 3 of a kind. Yes, Ravi could have made aces and queens, but I believe in a heads-up battle when you get aces up right here. You got to make a move, don't you,
Well,
Vince?
I'll tell you something. One, if he doesn't make a raise, this is going to be like a big win for Ravi. This could turn things around because this could be a train wreck if he does raise this.
Well, we hear the overflow crowd in the other rooms chanting Ravi. Little do they know what dire straits he's in right now.
Nam with a superior hand here.
Well, he is getting a lot of ammo out here, Vince. He's looking to end this thing right here. Every stack represents $200,000. Those are $10,000 chips he's getting out there. And Vince, it looks to me like he's getting out well over $1 million worth. Right now, we're up to $1.6 million if he puts another stack out there.
Doesn't mean he has bet it yet, though, ladies and gentlemen.
Raise.
He is raising. And he's definitely doing it, Vince. He's putting another $1.2 million out there.
Is there any way Ravi can get away from this hand with aces and threes?
Well, no. He's gone all in.
He's called it and gone all in.
Well, Nam is going to call him, and Nam Lee is going to be our champion here, Vince. Aces and sevens are going to win this pot. He has done it.
Oh, and look at him going into the mosh pit. An incredibly stunned Ravi.
Nam Lee wanted so much to avenge himself from the last time he made a WPT final table. He went out 6 there. He's done it tonight. He's our champion.
Gamble. Gamble.
Now let's talk to our champion from Huntington Beach, California, Nam Lee. Nam, did you have a strategy coming to this final table as chip leader? Were you just going to play it out? Vince and I thought you played a little conservative in the beginning, and certainly when you got heads up, obviously you stepped it up and played very aggressive.
Well, the game plan was just to get heads up. It didn't matter if I had the chip lead or not. That was the whole game plan. Play small pots and just get to the end, heads up.
Well, the game plan worked perfectly. You're our champion, and now as a custom on the World Poker Tour, it's time to toast our champion with Budweiser, the official beer of the World Poker Tour. Here's to the champion of the Bay 101 Shooting Star Tournament from Huntington Beach, California, Nam Lee. For Vince Van Patten, Courtney Friel, and everyone at the World Poker Tour, I'm Mike Sexton saying thanks for watching. And until next time, may all your cards be live and your pots be monsters.